Donald Trump loves strongmen. There's no question about it. And nothing makes that clearer than his statements about Turkish President Erdogan during their joint press conference. In fact, Trump said things like this: "I'm a big fan of the president. To tell you that, and I know that the ceasefire," meaning the ceasefire in northern Syria, while complicated, is moving forward and moving forward at a very rapid clip.
How does a ceasefire move forward at a rapid clip? Like, that would, by definition, wouldn't that mean they have not ceased fire, but they are beginning to cease fire at a rapid clip? And so hence that would be a thing that you wouldn't brag about. The only way that a ceasefire would move forward rapidly is there'd be a ceasefire and that's it. It doesn't have to make sense as Trump. Look, but maybe the more important and interesting part is, as we told you a little bit earlier in the show, Erdogan had insulted Trump earlier in their Oval Office meeting where Trump had written a terrible letter to him calling him the devil and all that stuff, or you'd be the devil. And Erdogan handed the letter back to him like, yeah, I'm not interested in this. But Trump, the dummy, didn't realize that he was being insulted. So he comes out and he's like, I'm a big fan of Erdogan.
No, but you know what? My read of this is a little bit different because I think Trump responds favorably to strongmen. And so, look, I don't know whether or not he really understood what was going on when Erdogan returned that letter, but returning that letter in the way that he did is something that a strongman would do, right? And Donald Trump loves, it's not that he loves it, it's that Donald Trump is the typical bully, right? He's weak, he's insecure, he has low self-esteem.
100%.
He'll pretend like he's this strong, confident guy, but in reality, he's a little child. And so when people don't fight back aggressively, like Democrats, for instance, he has no problem bullying them. But when it comes to actual strongmen, whether it's Kim Jong-un or Erdogan or Putin or Duterte in the Philippines, I mean, Donald Trump immediately cowers and talks about what a wonderful relationship he has with them. Jair Bolsonaro was another example.
Yeah, but there's also one other aspect of this. I remember reading back during the campaign about how solicitous Donald Trump would be of actually successful businessmen. So like he would talk about, oh my God, Steve Wynn's gonna come to my party, and he'd tell everybody, Steve Wynn's coming, Steve Wynn's coming, right? And dude, you both own casinos. Oh right, your casinos went bankrupt and his casinos were incredibly successful, right? And so, oh, Carl Icahn's coming, etc. So those are people he respects as like actually successful people and people he looks up to. Same thing with the dictators. Oh, they get to do whatever they want. In fact, he said that. He said that about Kim Jong-un. He's like, in his country, man, when he says something, everybody stands. It's great. No, it's not great. He's a dictator that runs concentration camps. But the second component of it is the money. So why does he care about Carl Icahn? Carl Icahn once bailed him out. Why does he care about the Russians? They seem to have bailed him out according to Trump's sons. They said, we got all of our money from the Russians. So part of the reason he's being solicitous to guys like Erdogan and Trump is his own national security advisor, John Bolton, says, I think he has a personal financial interest in Turkey. So when he sees his boss, whether it's Carl Icahn or Putin and Erdogan, all of a sudden he's Reek. The bully turns into Reek, like, oh yes sir, money,
100%.
Where's the money?
So CBS News reported, Trump added he and Erdogan have been, quote, very good friends, almost from day one.
Because they probably had a business deal from day one, but okay.
Exactly.
Look, I don't know that for a fact, that's speculation. The Russians, it's, hey, you ask.
You have his own son admitting that.
Yeah, ask Eric Trump. Eric Trump's the one that said, we got all of our money from the Russians because they love to play golf.
Well, there are.
True, he said it.
Yep. There are some on the right who aren't enamored by Erdogan. And while I disagree with Senator Lindsey Graham on pretty much everything, especially lately, he did argue with Erdogan when it came to propaganda in regard to the Kurds in northern Syria. Now, Erdogan tried to sway support among Republican senators he met with by showing them a propaganda video on his own iPad. And what he wanted to do is depict Kurds as terrorists. Erdogan is seeking to avoid US sanctions over his purchase of a Russian missile defense system. A source told Axios the video was, quote, unpersuasive. Now,
yeah, look, I gotta say that bothers me. First of all, depicting Kurds as terrorists is terrible. They're a giant ethnic group. Yes, there's a terrorist group within that is a very small minority. We have to be fair to everybody. On the other hand, if Netanyahu came in and showed a video of Palestinians blowing up Israelis, everybody would stand at attention. They'd give him a standing ovation. They'd let him speak to Congress, and you know it. Everyone knows it.
Well, you're right, and I think the reason why, look, every country, every government does everything based on self-interest. Right. Like let's keep it real. Like the foreign policy and international relations is all realism. Like no one does anything out of the kindness of their own hearts. So the Palestinians are not seen as US allies. We can't use the Palestinians for our own objectives. And so we use the Kurds for our own objectives. And we have a history of abandoning them, by the way.
100%. It's not just us as in America, it's the West. The West has abandoned the Kurds 1,000 times over. And then ironically, Trump turned around and said, well, they weren't there for us at Normandy. No, I'm pretty sure the abandoning goes the other way. Isn't that amazing? Every time there's a stereotype, it's the exact opposite of the truth. Mexicans are lazy, and Native Americans give something and then take it back. Are you kidding me? Really? Really, that was the stereotype? And now Kurds abandon people? I mean, it's just unbelievably insulting.
So Lindsey Graham was one of the Republican lawmakers who was in on that meeting, and he saw the video that Erdogan was showing them. And apparently he responded by saying, quote, well, do you want me to go get the Kurds to make one about what you've done?
Oh, damn, that's a good line.
That is a good line.
Yeah.
And then he later told Axios, quote, the Turkish narrative that they have done more to destroy ISIS, I reject forcefully. And I let Turkey know that the 10,000 SDF fighters, mostly Kurds, suffered, died, or injured in the fight against ISIS. And America will not forget and will not abandon them, although we did abandon them.
Yeah. And the guy who abandoned them is the president that you love so much and you kiss his ass daily. Let's just be honest about that. Yeah. And so look, Lindsey Graham's another kind of bully. So when it comes to Erdogan, I like that line a lot. Okay, when it comes to Trump, precious, all of a sudden not so tough. It depends on where your bread is buttered, both for Trump and Lindsey Graham. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.